survival. Strike force, yeah. Strike force gonna kill a rival. Strike force into the devil's lair.
Groups like this are used to target children. The British White Power movement is now specifically recruiting rebellious teenagers, handing out free CDs outside the gates of British schools. It's a tactic learned from earlier successes in Germany and the USA. They call it Project Schoolyard.
Project Schoolyard was a campaign launched by a Minneapolis-based record label called Panzerfaust. It was an attempt to distribute free White Power compact discs to school children, specifically to try to recruit them. In fact, Panzerfaust's motto is, "We don't just entertain racist kids, we help create them."
Project Schoolyard USA featured British bands including Brutal Attack, formerly known as Dead Packy in the Gutter. One of the men helping it to come to British schools is Stephen Cartwright, a leading force in the White Power scene and a player in the BNP.
They had quite a lot of people in the schools who were quite happy to go along and put them in the locker type areas and things like that, and they were sold very, very cheaply, I can see the positive side of it. There is actually plans to have such a CD coming out. It's only the early stage at the moment of a Project Schoolyard type CD by a selection of British bands.
Guaranteed to offend, it's offering teenagers a new form of musical rebellion. Too offensive for the shops, it is sold over the internet, and this virtual market has boosted the movement, making the music accessible. Nick Griffin is chairman of the BNP, the party that represents the British extreme right. In the midst of an election campaign and facing prison for inciting racial hatred, he takes every opportunity to get his message out.
What the police want to see, what the government want to see, is a riot outside this police station with our people protesting against the Labour Party. Well, we're going to protest at the ballot box. We're going to protest by organising. We're not going to protest by rioting. We'll leave that to the far left and to the Muslims.
Part of the BNP's lawful venture is Chris Telford. But with his band Nemesis, he plays more controversial songs for the cause. British White Power music is designed to get people to voice their racial prejudices. Their aim, by touring Europe, is to draw their movement together for an all-white continent.
Our movement, I believe, is about our people taking responsibility for ourselves again, and taking back our countries, piece by piece, dismantling this dreadful multiracial, multicultural experiment that we've had foisted on us. We deserve to survive and to prosper as much as any other biological entity in this world, whether it's a type of polar bear or the panda or the thousands of other endangered species. To my mind, the world's most endangered species is our people.
Driven more by politics than music, Chris's band Nemesis accept invitations to play all over Europe. Italy's extreme right movement, Benito Fronte, have asked them to headline a fundraising concert. Their destination, Milan. Nemesis has played in Italy before and have even produced a joint CD with Italy's first lady of fascist music, Viking. We went to see her whilst the band rehearsed.
Don't go around with the Jews. You don't know which danger you'll find on the rail of your life. Immigration. I think it is the new plague of Europe. If respect is missing, hatred explodes. Mostly I hate black people because they don't respect me. I always say I am not a Nazi, I am a fascist, because I think that I must defend my Italian history. Don't go around with the Jews. They use you and discard you and use you and kill you slowly. I almost kept this life secret because my parents don't approve what I do, especially my mother, who considers art as a form of perversion. I reached recently the 17,000 downloads of some songs of mine.
As the time for the concert approaches, the Italian police arrive in numbers. They've been tipped off that Nemesis are in town. Italian hate laws are tight, so the concert venue is still a closely guarded secret. As the bands wait to find out where to play, they compare their Nazi credentials.
Historically, political change has always been associated with violence. Can you have a revolution without somebody getting hurt? I don't think so.
Sean Sugg, lead singer of the American white power band Max Resist, will share the top billing with Nemesis.
I played a gig in Stockholm one time and I got a little out of control. I made some hand motions that I guess weren't approved by the government. They wanted to keep me for further observation there. I had a little time in the jail there just for saluting. I think it's crazy. I make one little hand motion and bang, they wanted to give me 2 years in jail. So what if I did that? Nothing, right? I think that might be worse. I was found guilty for a thought crime because of what I think. I think skinheads like to do it because it's kind of a symbol of rebellion. It's a gesture that signals unity between us. When you give them the old Sieg Heil, it's like they just become incensed. They can't, and it's just a hand motion, you know? Ozzy Osbourne bit the head off of a bat. Now that's pretty crazy, right? Did he go to jail for that? No. But I tell you, if he saluted it, actually, if Ozzy could probably get away with it. Yeah, that's right. Ozzy could probably do it.
Well, he's got a Jewish wife, so he can't get away with it.
Well, she's only half Jewish.
Yeah. The multiracial, multicultural mayhem that exists, particularly in Britain, but in Europe and America today, is we're certainly revolting in the sense against that. Of course we are. Yeah. So in that sense, you could be described as revolutionary because we do not accept today's norm. If the white European and, of course, white American don't wake up within 200 years, our race, Mother Nature's greatest experiment, will be gone. We'll be dead.
For the sake of argument, I say I'm a Nazi skinhead. But really, I consider myself to be an Aryan. My lifestyle is an outlaw lifestyle because it's not accepted by the society or mainstream. Maybe that's one of the reasons why I'm attracted to racial politics, because it's so extreme. I want to be extreme.
As in Britain, the extreme right here is on the rise. In Italy, they regularly get about 16% of the vote, giving them a place in government. Nevertheless, Italy's white power music scene is coming under increased police surveillance. Italian law forbids incitement to racial hatred.
We are heading off in a couple of moments to actually go to the venue of the gig. Sean of the Max Resist is actually at the venue at the moment, and he's actually in discussion with the Italian organiser, regional organiser, to see if we can get permission for you guys to come in and do a bit of filming.
With just hours to go before the gig, paranoia and secrecy kicks in.
You give me a word. Obviously the guys won't be there because the guys don't want to be on camera phased out. So is that okay, boys? Okay. Yeah, no problems. Cheers. No problems.
The bands get nervous and decide to exclude cameras from the event. Fans had recently been arrested for hate crimes, and they feared that our footage would provide evidence for further prosecutions.
The race hate laws remain the greatest hindrance to the rise of the far right across Europe. Their music, designed to recruit the young, can only work if it gets heard. But wherever bands play, they risk prosecution.
In Sweden, one star avoids arrest and targets the mainstream by softening her image while still maintaining her racist ideology. She's known as the Swedish Madonna of the far right, Saga.
What makes me different is I think that I'm a lot more mainstream looking and that I'm very much toned down compared to the other ones. It's not in your clothes, it's not in the way you dress, it's not in your